Hey everyone and welcome. Meet Secretary, Second Brain. A staff work assistant that knows its place. It turns your request and evidence into decision-ready work. You keep the decision, the authority, and the final word. So your ultimate assistant, your dream was to have a good assistant, a good secretary that will take care of your emails, of your notes, of anything secretary related. This one is for you. And as you can see right now here, we have the brain, but also our assistant here has a gauntlet. And this gauntlet has this loop. And this is related to Gauntlet Loop, everyone. So if you haven't heard of Gauntlet Loop, I'll just gonna even show you right now an example of Gauntlet Loop, what it is. It's a multi-agent prompting method popularized by Matt Schumer, if you don't know about that. So to generate a high-quality, complex artifacts through iterative self-improvement. So there was even a video. Let's check maybe some video because there was a YouTube video how what guys achieved with just one prompt.
A single prompt.
Continuous loop. Yeah, let's have a check.
Impressive Call of Duty game with no external assets used.
So this is an example of what this beauty created. I mean, not this beauty. I mean, yes, this beauty also will create for you. But that was applicable just from a prompt, guys. And what I did, I just created a brain. Oh, right here. I have created a brain named Gauntlet Loop. Also, guys, I made it public. You can check it out. Gauntlet Loop brain on GitHub. I'm going to also put it down in the description. But I made a brain out of it. And it's fantastic. It runs loops like golds in a really good, well set Gauntlet Loop pattern, Fable 5 methodology way. And still working on it. Still it's an experiment that I'm currently working on for a good Gauntlet Loop. So I gave this methodology to our dear secretary, because in the end, that's what it is in the end. Your AI agent is a secretary, but you just give it the mentality, the principles, the ways of thinking. I mean, there's a specific setup that I'm also going to show you just in a bit. But I hope you got the point. Secretary is an experimental evidence-grounded staff work controller for Claude Code and Codex. So you can control both even in one session. It's going to be like one secretary for both subscriptions if you have, or one or another. It's totally up to you. You can also adapt it to others. It freezes a task and it bounded evidence and asks one installed provider to produce structured staff work, validates the results locally, preserves dissent, and stops before any supported actions needs human approval. So follows good practices, guys. I have scraped everything related to secretary and how a best ever ultimate mega secretary can be. And I think it'll be even easier just to show you. I'm just going to scroll around this slide that also Mr. Claude generated, but I don't just like to go full on slides and how it is. It's just going to be short, direct to the point and how it goes. So it can think. Once again, it's a brain, right? It's an Obsidian vault. And inside here, we have quite a lot of things. We have commands, contracts, docs, and examples. I mean, you can check it yourself. The main skill here is, I mean, for you to know exactly what it does, right? I mean, let's say if you have a Gmail account, you have maybe in your WordPress, a CRM, whatever. I mean, you have so many tools that you are using, maybe one for taking care of your emails, one for taking care of your customers, one for checking invoices, even from an agency perspective. I mean, if you're a CEO, for example, you know, or if you're, let's say, even a solopreneur or anything of sort, you need a good secretary, a good note taker. Yes, Claude and Codex can do it if you give it a prompt and everything, but we can follow even better practices as a secretary needs to be, right? Like really taking care of you, understanding you, and acting upon. So what it does, it runs through installed Claude or Codex CLI without giving it the child model file tools, freezes the exact prompt tasks, schemas, brain selections. It always also notes down everything, by the way. Uses deterministic manifest first retrieval instead of dumping the whole second brain into every run. So it's really thinking here. I'm going to just show you also in a bit. Ships 5 governed profiles for general chief of staff, communications, operations, and research works. So it has sub-agents here that you're also going to spawn for relevant tasks. And there's more, by the way. Validates model output against the strict local schema and evidence contract. So no fluff, full on trust. We don't accept fluff here. Preserves contradictions, unverified claims, dissent, omissions, and no data outcomes. So if there's nothing, again, try again. If not, what to do? I mean, I'm going to present you. I'm going to tell you like, hey, this is wrong. Let's try maybe a different method. Routes and action, capable results through a narrow, single one human approval. So it will ask you like when there's a specific decision to be made, like, hey, are you okay with that? Sure, of course, let's go. Or if you want to have something else, you can just easily explain it with no fluff. And one important here aspect is the printing press CLI, guys. because there's so many tools that everyone in the world is using. I'm like, okay, what can we do with this secretary to be like really good and can be ever adaptable? Because that's the main point of a good secretary. She needs to understand you. She needs to feel you and feel on your feelings, whatever there is. That's why here we have the printing press. I have connected it, just the repo itself. So thumbs up to the guy. He did an amazing job. Why? Because this is like, it can let your agents connect to any tool you have, Google, WordPress, CLI, Gmail, Google Ads, Meta, whatever there is, you can connect, and the guy made it free and open source. So thumbs up, really drop in a star, guys. It's fantastic. Printing press, so it's connected to the methodology itself. We have also mini section in the brain about that and what tools to use and what to connect, and the agent will guide you exactly what needs to be connected. So she can understand also your business perspective, what needs to be done, or even your personal. It's totally up to you and exactly how you can use this secretary. But less about that. I think we can just go easily with the presentation, but screw presentations. Let's go straight away to actions. I'll close the cloud. We're gonna open a new one, and let's try our secretary, right? So first things first, how you can install this secretary skill. So you need to copy this. Oops, you need to copy the link, not this one, guys. Copy the link from GitHub. You also find it down in the description, and then feed it to your cloud and say, hey, install this skill. I have already installed the current skill. I just prompted, I removed it. I hope it was removed. Maybe now it will be installed once again, but let's double check in a bit. I'll just want to put here secretary. No, I already have it installed. So I'm going to stop it for now because I already have it installed. But you just prompt it, hey, install. And if the / secretary does not appear, let me just remove this whole thing so you can understand what I'm talking here. Okay, so if I'm going to put here / secretary, right, you can see that this text appears. Right now it's doubled because I installed it 2 times, but use secretary for completed staff work that preserves descent, holds, blah, blah, blah. Press on OK, because this is exactly how we launch the current skill. So like that, it's gonna get the whole on secretary brain. Oh, we have an API error from Mr. Anthropic. Why so? Let's try with Codex. There for now, I'm gonna put, I haven't even installed Codex. So let's see here with Codex CLI secretary. I don't have it installed, so I think it will be a very good use case also for you guys, for people with Codex. Something there is with Claude. I'm gonna put here, install this skill, also with Codex, but at the same time, hey, check the overload. What's up? I don't know exactly what's happening. I think something is from the server itself. Not the best moment, but what to do, guys? We can use them both, right? I have both Codex here, CLI, and I have Claude Code CLI. And right now there's some sort of overload there. I think it's from the server side. And let's keep it as it is for now. I will explain, and then it's a possibility for you to explain. I'm also going to show you how the brain looks. So let's say we are on GitHub right now. Here I have the code. I'll even just get the secretary. I'll create a folder. I'll name it here, secretary, right? In this folder, I'll just going to open my terminal, and here I'm going to just paste this bash command, and that's it. You need to have, of course, your GitHub connected there, but here I have the folder, and here inside you can see we have quite a few things. We have wiki, test, templates, skills, scripts, schemas, reference profiles, sleep, examples, docs, contract, commands, assets, and a few more. README, of course, and for all the agents, Gemini, for Codex, for ChatGPT, it's here. Let me show you also an example of the brain, how it looks. So this is the beautiful Marketing Hub library. It's not for you right now, but let me show you how we can open that brain there inside. So here's an example in Obsidian, right? Because Obsidian is hype, Obsidian is amazing. But again, in the end, it's just a folder. So for anyone being scared of Obsidian vaults. Here I'm going to open the folder. I'm going to open the exact same secretary folder. I'm just going to find it here. Open this one. Here inside, and here you can see I have this exact folder. I'm going to press on OK, and this will going to open the whole Obsidian brain, the vault itself. At the same time, here we can also open the wiki. I'm going to open this again, open folder, desktop. I'm going to find the exact same folder once again here, and the main point here is to open the wiki within, because this is exactly also what we need. Wiki, pressing on OK, because this is the exact same information that you see also within. And here you have all the principles needed. So I'm going to press on README, right? So the exact same information for GitHub, and it tells you exactly where to go and what to do, following best steps. It tells your agent exactly how to install the current skill and how to use it. So following the examples here, let's go for wiki. Let's go for communication. First, we have the index. This is basically like a table of contents for your AI agent to comprehend Here we have bad news routing. So operating summary, route about bad news by direction of travel and relationship context. So not to give you fluff and bad news, to be okay, hey, there's something bad happening here. So we have the source-led facts here. We have operational procedure, identify direction, apply the principal rules, test an outward message. For transactionability, we have bluff and numeric writing. We have briefing and debriefing, IPASS briefing schema. By the way, wow, use IPASS as default briefing schema with responsibility or attention passes from the secretary of the principal for another receiver. So again, we have also specific strategies in place, ministerial decision with memo, no surprise protocol. We have duties, CEO, time use baseline, correspondence, duty taxonomy. We have paper flow. We have branches, CCAIR, pays, graded assertiveness. I mean, I hope you get it, right? It's not only just, okay, it's a skill and that skill contains nothing. Guys, this is a full book. It's a library, it's a brain, and this contains all of these principles and ways of thinking and patterns for your agent to execute. Of course, if you want, you can easily modify that because I have made it public, right? The link is there. We have ethics, agency authority boundaries, authority review checklists, civil service values, confidentiality and attribution, null prohibition set, failure modules, gaps, judgment, meta, questions, roles, and hot index and log. Yeah, because here it's keeping its notes. Once again, compatible with all sorts of agents, Claude with Codex and all of them. You just hook it to your agent, you just install the secretary skill. Let me check once again if Mr. Claude is back, because maybe there was something wrong with our server. Maybe I'm gonna try to change the model. Maybe it works. Right now I'm using, I can see Opus 1 Max. Let me maybe change the model to Sonnet. Hopefully it works. Yeah, I'm gonna go for an effort medium secretary. Let's see if the current model maybe is not overloaded. Just to test, because at least to show you that this is an all fluff skill. Initially, when you launch the secretary, by the way, just for information, guys, because I hope you got exactly how the brain works and what principles we have inside. Initially, when you have loaded the secretary, you need to set it up. So it will ask you, hey, how do you want me to be? Do you want me to be friendly? Do you want me to adapt to you? Do you want me to make you massage? Of course, not massage, but maybe soon if you have a robot with hands. You can say, hey, every time check my email and put notes in my second brain, respond to my emails in my style. So she will also, by the way, grow with you. Initially, it's going to be like initial setup, and then she's going to be like an ever-growing secretary that's going to adapt to your voice. And this is the main scope of this secretary second brain, is the principles within the practices. The main point here is that this is just the first one that we have set here. I mean, we have a few other brains, of course, our marketing brain, a SEO brain, so whatever. We want to have also an HR brain, that's for sure, a manager brain, a CEO brain. So by combining all of these things together, afterwards we can create a full-on team and fully on niche down. Because yes, there's so many skills out there. But so far, according to my latest practices, because we have built quite a lot of brains lately and skills, these perform better. Why? Because there is context within and there's the ever-growing concept. So the Obsidian approach away, basically the folder structure way, because you don't even need Obsidian here. The exact same folder structure way with Markdown and everything with the images. This is the perfect example, especially for AI to execute. Plus, if you give it hooks to any sort of AI tools that we have, I mean, applications to be exact, like WordPress, Vercel, Google Search Console, YouTube, whatever there is, I mean, it performs just 10 out of 10. Secretary is installed, and let's start a new session with Codex, because for now, Claude is overloaded. I'm going to put here secretary. Okay, it did not appear. Okay, so start secretary. What to do? Hey there, the testing. Let's see. Hey there, the command did not appear in my Codex session. So can you just run it here so I can show to the guys just how it works, the initial setup. Sorry guys, what to do, troubleshooting. Of course, it'll take me maybe like 5-10 minutes, but I don't want to take too much of your time. Let me show you just a demo exactly when you run the current skill, because the main point here is why I did it, because I don't want to have text. What I want to have is true phone. That's why here I have prepared my Nokia iPhone. I will put it here in front of you guys. I hope you can see it here. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger. My main point here is that I already connected the secretary with my phone and say hello to everyone. And here I'm using Sonnet for now. This is our dear secretary. For now, we're not on
Hello,
secretary.
Daniel. Secretary's on the line. Ready when you are.
So I hope you get the main point, guys. Like, is to have it connected together with a voice model, even maybe with your Codex voice, you can do that also, the current secretary, and just always like, hey, take notes for me. How's my email going? And then it's like, okay, I checked your emails, so is this and that and that. And I'm gonna tell you like, hey, I made a stop here because it requires your decision. You want me to save them as draft, for example, the emails that needs to be saved or sent. You're like, sure, save as draft. And hey, Daniel, you want me to send these emails for you, only with your acceptance. Sure thing. So relevant checkpoints, and you know exactly how a secretary work is being done. And yes, guys, this is the secretary second brain. So it's running here now. The controller confirms. So secretary. Okay. I run a command, but it's not appearing. What to do? Let me just try to open another session. If it will not work, I hope we're gonna troubleshoot, and I'll take a little bit more of your launch. Okay. Launch secretary, right? I think because I have too many skills in my Codex, because I'm not using Codex CLI that much. I'm using Codex usually for sub-agents, everyone, just for your information. Claude is very good also. Codex is perfect. It's fantastic. I mean, ChatGPT is perfect for now. But I'm using it with Codex plugin in the meantime. So Codex plugin, I hope, and I think many of you have known it. You can connect your Codex subscription, your OpenAI subscription agents to your Claude Code, and you can just, make a console, because that's exactly what I did. And the principles that I'm following and I'm able to ship is that I'm using them both as friends together. Codex sometimes for sub-agents, Claude sometimes for sub-agents, and vice versa. If I'm using Codex, I'm using it inside the application, because the application is just eating so much data. That's why I'm not running it much inside, because it's eating a lot. But for example, here, I don't know if it will appear, secretary. Yep, secretary here appears. Let's give it a run, at least, so we can see exactly how it works in the Codex app, because I'm not using Codex app already that much either. Terminal is the easiest way. I'm using the secretary skill, you invoked. Let me just even zoom in so you'll be able to see. I'm using the secretary skill you invoked. I'll validate its exact linked controller, check whether your principal setup already exists, then I'll either proceed with the governed flow. So here the initial flow is quite simple. You can give her a name or it a name. You can set up whatever voice you want, the style, short, direct, to the point, whatever, how you want your exact secretary to be. So this is the main point of things. And if you have already this skill set up, you can also just spawn it with the help of, just give me one moment. You can also spawn it with the help of just voice, so Codex voice. Let's also give it a test also with that. When I press here, okay, boom, Claude secretary is running right now. Wow, okay, so secretary appeared, or even in Claude. So perfect moment right now, both of them are working, so at least you can see in comparison Codex and Claude exactly how it is with the secretary. So let's set you up. So right now in Codex did not give me the setup, which is quite bad. I want to review that. Here, straight away, this is supposed to appear, the setup. We have quick setup or skip session only. It's supposed to be the quick setup. So as soon as you select the quick setup, right now we're just going to choose the voice of your secretary, how you want her to be. You can even give her any sort of persona, so she will adapt. Of course, we'll choose the language first, because she'll also be a note taker. She's going to create for you documents if you want, as I mentioned, words, graphs, depending on the tool set that you have. Here I'm going to choose, of course, English recommended. What should the secretary name address be? You can give a custom name if you want to, also the command. Here I can put her Galina. I can put her the name if I want to. But no, I'm going to go for secretary, of course. So here, what should the default responsibility for the current secretary? Because there's different sort of secretaries, right? General staff work, technical engineering support, research and knowledge management, or other. Here I'm going to go for general staff work because I want to use the sync protocol and I want to use proper sub-agent delegation and orchestration for this specific secretary. How should these preferences be saved? Save, allow provider use, session only, save and allow provider use. So it's simple as that. You can also do the same. So even here, what I'd like to use, English, yep, English works. So I don't know why it does not give me as answers, but it's supposed to be this quick setup. So run the quick setup flow, so I can just select exactly. I'm going to choose here also. I think it'll be okay. And just like that, you're setting up your secretary as you want, everyone. So let's say if you have a business that is selling potatoes, then you can put a potato secretary that knows everything about potatoes and how to write the best ever potato emails. So I hope it makes sense. I think this is going to be enough, because otherwise this video is going to be too long. So this is how you set up your initial secretary, and afterwards you can just use it as your normal day-to-day agent, but smarter, better. Don't forget that the secretary has a gauntlet, and this is based on the Gauntlet Loop, the one prompt execution layer, and this is very powerful. Plus the secretary, I mean, here right now we are creating a crazy cyborg ultimate secretary, as I mentioned before. You have already seen what exactly we have inside the wiki, and we have even more if you want to go into details, but again, try it out. Just one command, /secretary. That's it. This was our secretary second brain, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. See ya.